If you are typing your table of contents manually in Microsoft Word, there is a much easier way. Word can create it automatically, add page numbers, make it clickable, and update it when your document changes. Here we have a long document with several section titles. We want these titles to appear in a table of contents near the beginning of the document. First, click where you want the table of contents to go. Usually, this is after the title page or near the start of the document. Go to the References tab. On the left side, click Table of Contents. Choose Automatic Table 1. If Word says that you need to apply heading styles, that means Word does not yet know which text should appear in the table of contents. That is normal. Click OK. Now we need to tell Word which line should be included. Select the first main section title. Go to the Home tab. In the Styles gallery, choose Heading 1. This marks the text as a main section. Now scroll to the next main section title. Apply Heading 1 again. Continue through the document and apply Heading 1 to every main section that should appear in the table of contents. Now return to the table of contents and click inside the table. Then, select the Update Table option. Great! Now Word pulls in the headings and adds the correct page numbers automatically. But there's more we can do to make this table of contents better. Let's create subheadings. If your document has subsections, use Heading 2. Select the subheading. Go to Home and choose Heading 2. If you have a smaller section inside that subsection, use Heading 3. And for even smaller sections, use Heading 4, and so on. It's really this simple. Now, once all headings are recognized, let's update the table again. In the dialog that pops up here, choose Update Entire Table. And just like magic, the table of contents now shows multiple levels. If your content moves to different pages, you do not need to rebuild the entire table. For example, let's insert a page break before this section. Now the section starts on a different page, and the table of contents still shows the old page number. To fix it, click inside the table of contents and click Update Table. Here, choose Update Page Numbers Only. This option means that Word keeps the same headings in the table of contents, but refreshes the page numbers. Let's click OK. And just like that, the page numbers are corrected. You can click inside the table of contents and type directly, but that is not the best method. If you change the text only inside the table of contents, the real heading in the document does not change. And the next time you update the table, your manual edit can disappear. Instead, change the actual heading in the document. Let's scroll down to the heading and change this title from Orchard Planning to Orchard Design. Then go back to the table of contents, click Update Table, and choose Update Entire Table. Now the table of contents is updated with the proper heading title. Heading styles make formatting faster because you can update all headings of the same level at once. To modify the style, right-click Heading 1 on the Home tab, then choose Modify. Here, change the font size, color, spacing, or any other formatting. Once you're done, just click OK. Now, every Heading 1 in the document updates automatically. Watch out, because if Heading 2 and Heading 3 are based on Heading 1, they will also inherit the format change. If this feels confusing, don't worry. We will deep dive into headings in a later video. So back to the TOC. You have to know that changing the heading styles controls how the headings look in the document body, but it will not change the appearance of those entries inside the table of contents. The table of contents uses separate TOC styles for its own formatting. So if you want the TOC itself to look different, you need to modify the TOC styles separately. Now let's customize the table of contents itself. To do so, go to References and click Table of Contents. Here, choose Custom Table of Contents. This opens the main settings window. There's a platter of settings here. Let's take a quick look at them. Here you can choose whether to show page numbers. You can align page numbers on the right. You can change the tab leader, such as dots, dashes, or no leader. You can also choose how many heading levels to show. For example, if you only want heading 1 and heading 2, set the level to 2. Let's try it out. Click OK. And as you can see after accepting the prompt that our TOC now only has 2 levels. The Formats menu changes the overall style of the table of contents. You can choose a built-in format or keep it set to the default template style. If you click Options, you can control which styles are used to build the table of contents. For example, Word usually maps heading 1 to TOC level 1, heading 2 to TOC level 2, and heading 3 to TOC level 3. This is useful if you want a different style to appear in the table of contents, or if you want to remove a style from the TOC. To edit the TOC formatting, set the Formats dropdown to the From Template setting. If another built-in format is selected, Word may control the appearance through that preset, and the Modify button will be grayed out. Once From Template is selected, click Modify to edit the TOC styles. These styles control how each level looks inside the table of contents. To continue, select the TOC style you want to change, then click Modify again. Now you can change the formatting, such as font, size, bold, indentation, spacing, and other style properties. For more control, click Format. Here you can adjust more detailed settings. After making the change, click OK. Then click OK again to close the Style window. Then click OK to apply the custom table of contents. If Word asks whether you want to replace the current table of contents, choose Yes. Now you know how to customize the table of contents to your liking. Your table of contents is clickable. Hold Control and click any item in the table of contents. Word jumps directly to that section. This is helpful while editing, and it is also helpful for anyone reading the document electronically. But this type of navigation is not always ideal. The TOC is great for displaying the document structure and navigating the document in print. However, the navigation pane is better for navigation while writing and editing or in larger documents. Now let's turn it on and see how it works inside Word. Go to the View tab. Turn on Navigation pane. On the left side, Word shows all the headings in your document. Click any heading to jump straight to that section. It also shows all levels of headings, unlike the TOC that only shows the levels you set. Use the navigation pane while you are building and editing the document. Use the table of contents when the document is ready to be shared, printed, exported, or formally read. Now let's look at a more controlled way to create a table of contents using OnStyle. OnStyle is a Microsoft Word add-in that helps documents follow predefined formatting and structure standards. Instead of manually choosing every TOC setting, OnStyle can use the assigned doc config to control how the table of contents should be created. To begin, go to the OnStyle tab. Before using the authoring tools, make sure the correct doc config is assigned. The doc config controls document standards such as styles, page layout, table of contents settings, and much more. Not every OnStyle feature requires a doc config, but for a correctly formatted, standardized table of contents, the doc config is needed because it controls the TOC title, title style, field format, heading levels, and related list settings. For OnStyle to build the TOC, it requires headings to exist in the document. Your pre-existing headings will work, but if you want to create new headings, just click the Quick Styles from OnStyle's interface. Hover the mouse over these icons to see what they do, and the keyboard shortcut to access them. Next, insert the table of contents using OnStyle instead of manually configuring word fields. Go to Tools, then TOC. Here, OnStyle provides several TOC-related insertion tools. Most notably, Long TOC, which inserts numbered and non-numbered headings up to the 3rd level. Hover the mouse over the options to see what they do. For this example, choose Insert Long TOC. The advantage is consistency. Instead of manually choosing every field code, level, title, and tab leader, OnStyle inserts the TOC package in the configured order and format. After the TOC is created, OnStyle can also validate the document. Validation means checking the document for formatting, style, structure, and content issues. OnStyle can inspect more than 150 possible issues in a Word document. Go to Validation, choose the relevant inspection set or inspection group, and execute the inspection. Just click the group's title and the inspections run automatically. For this topic, a relevant check is Symbol in TOC Source. This check identifies symbols in headings or captions used as TOC source content that may cause rendition or PDF issues. If OnStyle finds a symbol in TOC source issue, review the flagged text and remove or rewrite the symbol so the source text is cleaner. Alternatively, the available OnStyle correction for this issue is Remove Text, which can remove the flagged symbol or text, but check the wording carefully so you do not remove important meaning. After editing headings, tables, figures, or captions, refresh the document fields. Go to Tools and choose Update Fields. You can also use the default shortcut Alt plus Control plus U. Update Fields refreshes the table of contents and other document fields in one step. This is useful because Word's normal Update TOC refreshes only the selected table of contents, while OnStyle's Update Fields refreshes the TOC together with other document fields, such as lists of tables, lists of figures, captions, cross-references, and other field-based content. So after changing headings, tables, figures, or captions, Update Fields is a safer one-step refresh for the whole document package instead of updating only one TOC item. So the native Word method is great for learning how a table of contents works, but for standardized business, regulatory, or company-controlled documents, OnStyle gives a stronger workflow. One limitation to keep in mind: OnStyle's Insert TOC tool is not intended for cases where multiple separate TOCs or similar lists are allowed in the same document. For standard document packages, though, it keeps the table of contents much more consistent than building everything manually. Save time when authoring documents with OnStyle's 150 auto checks and fixes. Visit OnStyle's website and try it for free now.